So, hello and welcome to Sweeney Central. Some tips on putting a fence up by yourself. So, I'm trying to finish this fence off around the second garden. It needs to go to there and then around to the door, which is like 15 feet from there to there. And I am unrolling this large 100-foot hardwire cloth by myself because, well, everybody else is busy. So, my tip. When you undo it, it always has this wire on top, like that. See that? This wire is from inside to the outside. Yeah, usually it has the whole thing encompassed, but I unraveled it a little bit and then I tied it back on because if you don't, it just keeps unraveling. And this is not like super heavy, but when you're unraveling and this part is unraveling and you don't need that, it makes it so hard. So I was able to get like halfway with it tied up like this, and then I'll keep going till I get to the end, and then I'll let it out a little bit if I have to, and then I'll tie it back up because that way I can store it, because we don't need all this roll to finish the garden. So I'm putting it up, and I don't have enough space on here to do a time lapse for you, but we are using these really cool they're called lock jaws right here to hook them on. I think I showed this before. So this is going to be interesting because I actually have to do this from inside, which that part's a little impossible when you have a deer fence. So I may have to make someone come help me for a little bit, but at least I'll have the fence all pulled out and everything, and it shouldn't take too long. All right, here's to finding someone to help me. All right, so we got the rest of the gate up. I'm not sure if that was frozen. I actually was able to do about half of it by myself. Haha. But then we were working on something else, so I had my husband and my son help me a little bit. I'll be planting my garlic in here today at some point in time. Those marigolds are gorgeous. I feel like I should save them. I think that's what they're called. I'm not a flower person. We collected most of the cucamelons. I had my son collect the cucamelons. There's one right there. They were the bigger ones that we were able to find were super sweet. So now we're gonna make sure that I'm gonna make sure I get those started early next year. But I think they have rhizomes, so I'm gonna try to dig them out a little bit later in the month and see if I can transplant them. Because I actually want them in the middle of this trellis with the raspberries next year because of the way they spread, and see if they will stay there. That'd be cool. My kiwi, I don't know if I showed the final result of me taking my hardy kiwi and kind of, so it's planted in this bed. Of course, there's nothing to stop it from growing in terms of underneath and out. But I untwisted it from the skinny tomato stalk vines it was on and kind of wrapped it and tied it around these. And if you see that one over there, let's see if I can get it in the distance. Yeah, let's go through the little holes there. That one over there, same thing. I'm on the outside, I don't feel like going in. I'm giving the dog her morning walk. And I just spotted that, which is, I believe it's either a leek or a soft neck garlic. I'll have to grab that when I get in there today and see what that is. So I planted some soft neck garlics earlier in the season. I want to check out my trees for a second here. This is the peach tree, which was growing well throughout the summer. I have to figure out this inside area here, but we're gonna need to keep them covered a little longer because of the deer that randomly decide to come back. Over here is the pear tree, which it's growing a little bit. It was a little better before. Hopefully it'll be okay. And we're gonna let the chickens out. Alright, so I came out here to plant. I actually took out the chickpeas that were in here and I planted them in a large planter in the greenhouse. The floor of the raised beds aren't ready yet, so I had this really large planter that I'm going to plant eventually a pink lemon lemon tree. I forget what it's called in there. It should be here this week. I'm not planning it in there until spring, but right now I'm going to use it for chickpeas and see if they keep growing and leave them in the greenhouse where it's a little warmer during the day and at night. But garlic is ready, so I'm doing 6 and like almost like a square foot. We have music here. I soaked the music in the peroxide, 12% peroxide, because they did see like they had a little bit of mold starting on them, so that cleaned them up hopefully and got the bacteria and fungus whatever off of it. And then that's the only one I did just to soak in. Over here I have chestnut red, there's 24 of each, and then on the end I have some really big, I already buried them, German extra hardy, there's 8 of those. On the other side I'll do the same thing, but on the other side they are soaked in 12% peroxide, and then they are actually soaking right now in fertilizer, fish fertilizer, and baking soda. So we're gonna see which ones do better, and that's what I'm doing right now. So this is the side that had the fertilizer on it, or was soaked in a fertilizer, and I am giving it a good water soaking. I did the same thing for that side before I put the hay on. And then what I'll do is I'll put the hay on, which will help keep weeds down and help keep moisture in. So these were all pushed in about 6 inches, so a good soaking is needed to get it to be wet. So like I was saying, you soak in them really well to make sure that those bulbs get wet, because they're 6 inches down, so you got to make sure you get a good soak in there. And then covering them with the hay. I just use an Easy Straw from Lowe's, Home Depot, they both have it. And this helps keep the weeds down and holds in the moisture, protects them a little bit from if you get too many cold, freezing nights during this winter time. Because as you know, or hopefully you know, garlic will grows like 10 months. So it grows all through the winter. It develops its root system and everything. And then in spring comes, the leaves pop up out of the ground, and it's so exciting. But, so I'll try to keep a little time lapse of this. I don't know if that'll work now that I say that, but I'll try. We'll see what I can do. I probably won't have any green sprouts before it gets super cold here, which is fine. Occasionally I do, but what happens is those just end up dying back. So it's almost better to not have them. So I am planting here on October 30th. It's late in the game, but I had a lot of things I had to get done before I could even think about planting here. So I will then soak this in on top with water just to help hold it down, and make sure the moisture stays in. And then I will be all done planting as the sun is setting over there and the chickens are still making their way around the home area. And then this bed will be done until the springtime, when tomatoes are going to actually go in the middle, and a couple onion spots here, and then over there where those are, they'll be gone by that time, and I'll put some onions in there. And that's what this bed is going to be: garlic, tomatoes, onions, and when the garlic comes out, I'll pop some basil in and some other low-lying plants next spring or early summer. All right, thanks for watching. See you next time. Be blessed.